The interruption by the landlord sobered Max up like an ice bucket over his head. What he was doing this weekend wasn't right. He was acting like a complete asshole. Sure, Honey was falling for him again, and he never stopped loving her. But nothing changed back home. He still had his high-pressure job. If anything, after being made partner, he had even more responsibilities. Honey would still be stuck with the kids and resenting him. She would still be lonely in their $1 million penthouse, with occasional visits from her sister and mother and the few friends she had coffee or yoga with. He was essentially using the entire town of Sapphire Falls to get into her panties, but he hadn't offered her anything better than what she had before. Asshole. All they'd have would be an almost perfect weekend here at Sapphire Falls. Almost perfect, because she'd let the cat out of the bag about their divorce. Max watched Honey fill the tub, still wrapped in his sheet. Did she remember yelling out his secret? Or was she drunk and thought she was talking only to him? She called him a liar with his pants on fire. The pants on fire part was true. His dick was still erect and pointed her way. But other than a night of screaming orgasms, could he really deliver what she needed? Pretending a problem didn't exist was what got them into this mess. Honey turned off the tap and stood, glancing at him.
Are you going to be the rotten egg or a rotten cucumber?
She let the sheet pool at her feet and pointed one toe into the water. Her breast jiggled as she cocked a finger, motioning for him to join her. Max wet his lips and shucked off the sweatpants. His head hurt from thinking, and his cock and balls throbbed from being so close, but not close enough. Smiling, he caught her in his arms, and together they lowered themselves into the tub. He was a man, after all, and this was the mother of his children, the woman he'd pledged to love forever. She was straddling him, her legs open around his hips, and it was all he could do to resist plunging into her. But they had to take it slower and talk and understand. He couldn't lose touch with her again, and if he hurt her, he might never get a chance to get her to come to Sapphire Falls ever again.
Shampoo?
Honey squeezed a blob on her hand and worked it into his hair.
We really did get down and dirty, didn't we?
Yeah, but this feels so good. He took the shampoo bottle and returned the favor. He loved the feel of her hair through his fingers and the way her body fit his perfectly. If only they could maintain this easygoing friendliness. She giggled when soap got into his eyes, and then splashed him with water. He got her back by painting a big blob of foamy bubbles over her mouth. She pounced on him and dunked his head under water, and he emerged, sputtering and laughing. Their limbs tangled and their bodies slipped and slid around each other. Taking a washcloth, he swirled it over her body, around her breasts and over her belly, washing the dirt and paint from her. She did the same with a scrubbing mitt. He cleaned her entire body, and she scrubbed the paint off his back. They drained the water, then pulled the shower curtain around the tub, turned on the shower, and rinsed off.
I wish we can always be this happy,
Honey said, as she stood in front of him under the spray with his arms around her. So do I. His voice was thick with both lust and fear. I want this for more than a Halloween fling, but also to get back together after we go home.